Mental illness remains one of the top conditions that goes untreated in the U.S. The National Alliance on Mental Illness says education and compassion are needed for people suffering from illnesses that can become deadly if they go untreated. MTN's Mackenzie Lee has more.
Nearly 50,000 Montanans live with mental illness. The National Alliance of Mental Illness says the vast majority of people who commit suicide have an untreated or undertreated illness. Montana currently ranks first per capita in the number of suicide deaths.
When you're in distress and when it has to do with your mental health, it's important to seek help because it doesn't just go away. And I think that's what a lot of people think. They think, oh, like cowboy up, get over it. But that doesn't happen. If it did, we wouldn't be #1 in suicides.
Montana's state mental health system provides services to only 48% of adults who live with serious mental illness. Those who don't get proper medical attention may end up acting out by committing minor or possibly serious crimes. It happens frequently enough that law enforcement officers often need to assess whether they are dealing with someone who could be suffering from mental illness.
Hey, you want to go to the hospital? Is everything okay? You approach it totally different. How are you feeling? You start asking these questions. Do you see your doctor regularly? And you talk softer and you talk calmer.
Sheriff Edwards has taken Crisis Intervention Team Training, or CIT. It helps law enforcement learn how to deal with someone in crisis.
We'll also be trained on how to go in and explain things to medical personnel. This is what is going on. Suicide threat or out of control on the street, things like that. So we actually learn how to relay this information to medical professionals.
Edwards says jail is not a good place for someone with a mental illness who commits a misdemeanor or nonviolent crime. He says they need medical attention. Neighbor agrees. She says the first step helping those with mental illness should start before law enforcement needs to get involved.
Raise awareness of mental illness, to work on decreasing the stigma associated with seeking help, with acknowledging that a person has a mental illness, and to connect people with the resources that are needed.
In Great Falls, Mackenzie Lee, MTN News.
Neighbor says families and friends should get involved if they know someone struggling with mental illness to get them help.